Hey, what is up, guys? Commander Andrew 2015 here. In today's Hearts of Iron video, we're going to talk a little bit about different tank designs that you can use. Start off, there is no real wrong tank design in practice, as long as you really stick to a decently high reliability and focus, soft, hard, breakthrough attack, that kind of thing. Caveat: these are just my designs. These are what I recommend that you use. These designs have worked for me in many of my campaigns and conquests. It may not work for you. It may work for you. This is just my opinion. Feel free to explore and expand upon these designs, or completely disregard these designs. Do what works for you. It's just my opinion. All right, let's get into things. These are all improved chassis that we are going to be using. You of course can use some early ones, some more advanced ones, etc. This is what I believe you can genuinely get for your Major War 1939, 40, 41. These are some of the designs that I think you can reliably reduce in good enough numbers. To start off, the improved light tank. Many major nations just start off with the improved light tank, and so it can be beneficial to just keep up the production run or start a production run early on in order to get a large amount of light tanks into the field. They may not have the best stats-wise compared to mediums and heavy tanks, but they are fast, and I recommend having your light tanks quite fast. These divisions are not so meant to attack other enemy armor divisions. They're more in line with attacking enemy infantry divisions, overrunning those divisions, or encircling divisions. I would not recommend using light tanks against other tanks. Focus that infantry. Pretty basic stuff here. 3-man turret, improved small cannon, advanced radio 3, armor skirts, machine guns, interleaved road wheels, welded armor, gasoline engine 4 tick here, armor 1 tick here. So it's a good top speed for encirclements and overruns, decent amount of soft attack for this time, 39-40, when we're planning that war, and a good enough breakthrough as well. An okay amount of defense, and reliability, a decent reliability. Now, for reliability, I would argue it's an important stat. I see many people kind of not caring about reliability that much because in their mind they're just going to make up for it with industrial construction. They're just going to have so many factories producing them that it's going to be worth it overall. But I tend to gravitate towards a more reliable tank so that I really get my industrial construction's worth when I'm producing these vehicles. Because if we were to have per se a light tank with 60% reliability, it's going to break down, it's going to blow up, it's going to just attrition far more significantly compared to this tank, and meaning we're going to lose a lot more light tanks, not even from combat, just from driving around and just generally just mishaps and accidents with those tanks. So this goes for all kinds of your tank designs. I generally believe that you really should go for that 80 to 90% range. Any higher, you're just missing out on stats. Any lower, you're just kind of throwing industrial construction away, in my opinion. Alright, so this is your basic improved light tank. Maybe you want to spice things up, make an improved artillery version, really just pound that soft attack away. This is approximately it. We're really suffering on the hard attack and kind of breakthrough, though. But we are getting 50 soft attack per tank, which is really remarkable given our technology and era. So, what we got here? Light fix, superstructure, medium howitzer. Later, you can improve this medium howitzer with an where is it? An improved medium howitzer once you research that attack, etc. But medium howitzer, decent enough to start producing that. Go ahead. Radio 3, and then just machine guns because we are trying to stack that soft attack. Same road wheels, welded armor, gasoline turbine, or gasoline engine tick here 9, armor tick 5 here. What we're really focusing on this tank is just that soft attack. It's a lot of soft attack. It's going to do a lot of damage to especially infantry divisions. Definitely not so much against tank divisions. Like I said, do not use light tanks against other armor divisions. Really try to go around those. So it's a decent tank division. Alright, the next really interesting thing we have here for the light tank is the improved light tank destroyer. This is it right here. Fixed superstructure, improved high velocity cannon, advanced radio 3, squeeze bore adapter, armor skirts, and machine guns. Same road wheels, welded armor, gasoline, engine tech 9, armor tech 5. And what this tank is doing, it's decent amount of soft attack, a little bit extra than the light tanks we saw previously. A lot less breakthrough though, but a substantial increase in piercing because this is the tank destroyer variant. 178 piercing per tank is quite good, and some well, I'm looking for the words. Something you may like look past is you can just produce these improved light tank destroyers to pierce other enemy armored divisions, including medium and heavy tank divisions, because these tanks are cheap. As I was saying, these tanks, the improved light tank destroyers, they are decently cheap given their IFC, and they provide a remarkable amount of piercing that can pierce these medium and other heavy tank divisions. Meaning that if you really don't want maybe the increased production cost of maybe a heavy tank destroyer, you could possibly go for a light tank destroyer battalion in your division overall, and still pack a decent amount of piercing to be able to pierce these heavily armored opponents that you may be facing. But generally, that is just for light tanks. All right, medium tanks, fun things. I generally like to keep it around 8 kilometers and up for speed because we want to be able to overrun. We want to be able to circle. We don't want to be slower like heavy tanks. We want that speed. We want that advantage. Like I said, reliability 85 to 90%. It's pretty solid. We have good soft attack on here. Not so good hard attack, but these aren't multiplayer tanks. These are more oriented towards single player. Okay amount of piercing and pretty remarkable breakthrough. But keep in mind, we do have the full mobile warfare doctrine completed when looking at these tanks. And for modules, 3-man turret, improved medium cannon. You're not going to start out with an improved medium cannon. Most likely you're going to start out with this medium cannon, but then you can refit these bad boys into improved medium cannons and significantly improve your stats. Radio 3, armor skirts, smoke launchers, interleaved road wheels, welded armor, gasoline engine, none of these. But yeah, keep in mind, you can refit these tanks to more up-to-date modules, such as the smoke launchers. They're not that good for their production cost, 2 defense, 1 breakthrough. When you get access to things like an autoloader or maybe a stabilizer, I would definitely recommend refitting these modules out to get these increases to your breakthrough and defense. That's about it for the improved medium tank. I generally don't think you need a self-propelled medium or heavy tank division design. I think that's more oriented towards the light tanks. But we do have an improved medium tank destroyer. We're trying to keep that same speed so we don't lower it or increase it. You wouldn't be able to increase it. You'd only be able to lower it. But we're accepting a little bit lower reliability in these tanks due to the fact that we're in our division. There's going to be far less of these tanks than the regular tanks, meaning that there's less equipment that is likely to suffer a catastrophic breakdown or overall attrition, meaning that we can accept a lower reliability because we have lesser of these units, and so we don't expect them to blow up that as often as the other improved medium tank. So these designs, this design, my god, medium fixed superstructure, a improved high velocity cannon, but like I said, you're probably not going to start off with it. You're probably going to start off with a possibly a basic high velocity cannon. It takes a while to research all the stuff that you need, but for these TDs, I would probably go with improved high velocity cannon. Maybe if you're even fighting against heavy tanks, having a harder time against that, I'd maybe refit to improved heavy cannon 2, maybe advanced heavy cannon 3, that kind of thing. Radio, squeeze bore adapters, so we get a little bit extra piercing. Armor skirts, additional machine guns, interleaved road wheels, welded armor, gasoline, Engine 6, armor 9. Providing a decent amount of armor, a little bit of soft attack, a lot of piercing. Definitely decent tank destroyer design. Just try to keep that piercing up. Remember to refit those modules to the more up-to-date ones so that you have the best stats. And then a little bit extra here is the improved medium flame tank. I recommend the medium flame tank because you're getting the most stats out of having these in your support battalions. A heavy flame tank or a light flame tank doesn't give you the same amount of bonuses to tiles, to certain tiles like marshes, mountains, forest, etc. So for this improved medium flame tank, it's basically just as you saw before, the improved medium tank, just with a flamethrower as its main armament, and then designate it here as a flame support company. It's not much to look at. I'm just trying to keep it cheap so that I don't have to produce that much of it. It's got an okay amount of breakthrough, but if you really want, you can really just lower the reliability on this thing because, like I said, there's not going to be that many of them in the division as is. You could lower this thing to possibly 70 if you really want to and just really boost these stats. But I don't really want to keep that many factories on these. I'd rather just have a couple of them, like 3 or 5, and be able to work that with my divisions. So it's cheap production, 12.7, but still packs a decent amount of breakthrough. And plus, we're getting those stats from having this as our support company. And so it's very... Alright, on to heavy tanks. These things are fun. Quite fun. As you can see, 120 armor, 120 breakthrough. Very, very good stats because this is per tank. This is per tank. Our soft attack is not the best, but our breakthrough easily makes up for it. Our piercing is still very decent considering this is just per tank with the improved heavy cannon. Our max speed suffers a lot, but these divisions aren't really meant for those overruns. They're meant for pushing that defensive line that's really holding you back. And of course, our reliability is around that 85, 90, 80% range. Nice range to have. IC efficient. We have a 3-man turret, a improved heavy cannon, the advanced radio, armor skirts, smoke launchers, interleaved road wheels, welded armor, diesel engine, engine 2 ticks, armor 12 ticks. And this division is, like I said, really meant for just pushing those really hard defended tiles and breaking through. It's going to be quite hard to pierce. 120 armor per tank, but it's still possible. Any tank is pierceable in this game due to statistics, but also supply. If you have bad supply, your armor is significantly decreased, that kind of thing. So armor, it's important, but it's not the end-all be-all. Definitely focus on that breakthrough. That breakthrough is very good to push through those defensive lines. But yeah, it's a solid, just improved heavy tank. I like these. But then we move on to the improved heavy tank destroyer. Very fun. Very fun. Heavy fixed super structure. Improved heavy cannon too, but you could... I mean, you definitely want to refit it to the advanced heavy cannon 3 if you need that extra piercing. And if you really need that extra piercing, super heavy cannons. That absolutely insane piercing. Then move on to the radio. Just get that squeeze word adapter, get that plus 10 piercing. Just armor skirts, magician machine guns, interleaved road wheels, welded armor, diesel engine, engine 7 ticks, armor 18 ticks. It has a bit more armor than the standard heavy tank, but significantly less breakthrough, and a little bit extra piercing, I would say. Let me just compare them. Standard one has 125. That don't seem right. No, it's 125. I absolutely misread that. So it's 125. We're getting about, what, 60-ish extra piercing, tank destroyer designation, and the squeeze bore. It's pretty good. This is going to pierce your other enemy tanks, your medium tanks, your heavy tanks, unless they are very heavily armored, in which case, like I said, refit the main armament to advanced level 3 or super heavy cannon, that kind of thing. These are good tanks. Like I said, we're accepting a lower reliability just a little bit because there's not going to be that many of them in the division as is. A little bit higher top speed, but that doesn't really matter. All right, well, that's about the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any comments or like questions about a certain design or how it would compare to something else, please let me know. I'll respond to you. I'll make a follow-up video, all that kind of stuff. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something. And just remember, uh, any kind of tank design can work. These are just examples that have worked for me. You can really make your tank design whatever you want. Just stick to a decently high reliability as is, and then try to stack either soft attack, hard attack, breakthrough, whatever you're really going for your division. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.